What it do, YouTube? It's SS and I'm back with another video. So today we're gonna be running a nice little spicy team surrounded around my cancel Shadow Ninetales. It is the rank 1, as you guys can see. Swampert, Shadow Swampert is not the best IVs, but I'm making it work, as you guys will see here in these few battles. I do believe it's like 3 sets. I do believe I'd go positive in these 3 sets. So let's go ahead and just hop into these battles. So now we're gonna see Staraptor into our A-Muck, our Alolan Muck, and I'm going to shield this potential cross combat, Brave Bird, whatever it is. I'm going to shield it. The next poison jab should go through. And they actually thought I was going to bait here, which that's why sometimes you guys should never bait. That's why I went for the Dark Pulse, because it would have been put them in a better position. And because we did that, we were in a good position. So now they kind of are forced to shield this acid spray that is coming from this Muck. And they do shield it, which is pretty good. They switch out. And unfortunate for me, I'm going to be getting Shadow Claw down, which is not too ideal. But I come into my Shadow Ninetales, and at this point, I need to call the Shadow Ball. And I'm assuming that I end up calling a bait. Nice bait. This can only be another Seed Bomb. I don't have to shield this. It is the Seed Bomb. I am going to charge up the Weather Ball all the way to an excellent they shield, which is very interesting at this point. So now I can just safely shield this, even though it is a Seed Bomb. Doesn't matter. Oh, I let it go, and we live with 1 HP, and we lose CMP, and we can just safely shield here, and we're gonna be able to get this Weather Ball off, and we're gonna be able to take this game. So yeah, very fun team. I never really got to use my Shadow Ninetales best buddy ribbon. Yes, I know. And we're actually running the legacy move Ember on it. So now we're going to see a good lead here. We're going to see the Hisuian Quellfish, or I don't know what it's called, but the second evolve of the Quellfish. And we're going to shield this. Could be a Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball. Dark Pulse, that's fine with me. I'm going to go for the base. Since I shielded, they're most likely going to shield, I do believe, because we built up 2, but they didn't. But either way, we're going to be able to farm down. They come into an Abomasnow. I'm going to throw 1 Hydro Cannon here, and then I'm going to swap out into my Alolan Muck, hoping that they switch out too. That's fine. They're going to throw a Weather Ball here. It's going to do somewhat damage, but it's not really going to do a lot, as you guys can see right here. So this is good for me. And I do believe I build up. They catch on the Tapu Fini, what is the Dark Pulse, which is very good play of them. And we're just going to be able to farm here, and we're going to be able to get to the acid spray. They're still pew 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 pewing with their little water guns, which is fine with me. We're going to be able to get this acid spray, and they shield it. Feels bad for them, feels good for me. If this is a surf, that's fine. It's going to be able to take us out. We live 1 HP. They might have undercharged it, that's fine. But since they got the debuff with the acid spray, now this Hydro Cannon is going to be very detrimental for them. So they're going to have to shield. They do shield, which is fine. I do believe I just end up letting this go, because at this point, since they got the debuff on Tapu Fini, we end up living it. I'm at the next Hydro Cannon. We're going to charge it up to an excellent. And this is going to be able to take out their Tapu Fini. I come into my Ninetales, and at this point, I don't have to shield anything. We just hardwall the Abomasnow, and they're just going to be able to get Ember down, and we're going to be able to take that game. So yeah, nice little spicy pick. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are enjoying the other videos that I'm making. Once again, these are done on my Twitch. If you guys would like to watch them as they do happen in real time, link in the description. I go live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central. So if that's something that you would be interested in, link in the description. Hope to see you guys over there. Let me know if you do come from YouTube. It would make me happy to know that. But now we're going to see Swampert into Charizard, which is okay for me. But they end up doing a very nice catch here. And I'm going to do the same thing on my Shadow Ninetales here. We catch the Icicle Spear, which is very good for me. You can catch, I can catch too. Doesn't matter. We're going to be able to get to the Weather Ball. I'm just going to throw it immediately. I do not want to overfarm just in case they don't shield. They don't shield. That is fine. Now I can safely shield what is a potential Earthquake here. Hopefully they go for the Earthquake, because if they do, now I can just farm down completely. And we're going to be able to farm down completely. They come into a Swampert, which is pretty bad. And I'm actually running Side Shock on it. Probably be better if I was running Overheat or Solar Beam in this case, but they end up letting it go, and that's fine with me. They're going to throw right before we get to our next move. That is fine. I'm going to let it go at this point. No reason for me to shield. We're going to let it go. Exactly. Now we're going to come back into our Swampert. We already have the move locked and loaded, ready to get thrown. And they do believe this is CMP. No, it is not CMP. We were actually able to deny them at that point. And I know that my Swampert is going to be able to win CMP. I switch out and we're going to be able to catch what is a potential Dragon Claw here. Blast Burn. Blast Burn, that's fine. Now we're going to be able to get to a move. I'm hoping I get to a move. We're not going to be able to get to a move. We are. Actually, this is a blast. Oh, no, never mind. This is a Blast Burn. I did do these battles a couple of days ago. Oh, and no, actually, we're going to be able to lose this game. I should have did. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to get much shot down by the other Swampert. Dang. Feels bad. But anyways, that's fine. So now we're going to see Drapion into our Swampert. Most of them do not shield because they know that you just go for the Hydro Cannon, which is fine. I built up just a little bit so I could outpace the Drapion. And we're going to send out our A-Muck, our Alolan Muck. And this is actually pretty bad because they're running Dragon Breath. If they were running Shadow Claw, it would actually put us in a better position. But I kind of had to start letting go these couple moves. But I am going to shield something eventually. I'm going to go straight for the Dark Pulse, hoping that they don't shield. They do shield, which is okay for me, I guess. Now we're going to be able to try to get to the next move. I am going to shield this, I do believe. I shield this. I don't shield it. Okay, very interesting. So now we're going to come into Swampert. And I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. They probably do shield, but I mean, there'll be 2 shields down at this point. They do shield. This is looking like a loss, to be honest. So now I'm going to have to start shielding here. I should have just kept my Alolan Muck alive. This is a misplay by me, I do believe. I'm going to be able to get to the next Earthquake. They don't catch, which is good for me. We're going to throw the Earthquake here, charge it up to an excellent. And is this going to be enough? This is definitely going to be enough. So now they're going to come back into what is Escavalier, but then they come into their Drapion. I'm hoping that they don't have Aqua Tail, because if they have Aqua Tail, then it's going to be really, really bad for us. But we're going to be able to get to these Weather Balls pretty fast, but they're going to be able to outpace us, which is not too ideal, to be honest. They do have Crunch. They debuff us. They're going to outpace us. I need to win the CMP tie, and I don't win the CMP tie. So now, unfortunately for me, I will have to shield this, and I do end up shielding it, and I let it go because we're going to no bubble live for a little bit. We're going to do a little nice. And then we're going to be able to farm down. Oh, actually, this is a very good play. Very good play. Very strategic team. Strategic move here. So because we undercharged it, we were able to get to the next Weather Ball. And we're going to be able to take this game. So, yeah. Little high level play there. Now we're going to see Heracross into our Swampert, which is not where I want to see it, but that is fine. I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon as soon as I get to it. It is going to chunk, do some damage here. They do end up shielding, so now I'm going to switch out into my Alolan Muck. And I'm going to let this go. Hopefully it is not a close combat or a Mega Horn. It is the Mega Horn, and we're going to get Mega Horn to the face. They come into a Gliscor, which is pretty bad, but pretty good at the same time. Hopefully we're not going to be able to get farmed down. Hopefully I can get to another Dark Pulse before they throw the move, but they already at like double moves here, which is fine, so I'm going to let this go. If we live it, I will debuff them or try to get to the move. We do get to the Dark Pulse, which is very good for us. And we're going to be able to charge it up to an excellent to see if they do shield. They don't shield, which is very interesting, to be honest. But, I mean, they don't. I guess they don't want to go down 2 shields, which is good for them. Bad for me. Now, I'm going to shield this what it could be a potential Earthquake, but it is just another Night Slash. And they get boosted, so now I have to double shield here, which is not ideal for me, but that is fine. But we're going to be able to switch out into our Cancel Ninetales. Farm it down. They come into a Heracross, so now I'm thinking, is there something in the back that's weak to our Cancel Ninetales? Because they would have brought in their 3rd Pokemon if they wasn't weak, and they end up shielding, so this is pretty bad for us if they end up having Trevenant in the back, and I think this is gonna be close to KOing us, which is pretty bad. Can we get to the move? Can we get to the move? I probably could have farmed down, but I did get scared, and we're gonna be able to throw the weather ball right before. And in the back is a wall rain, and this is looking very tricky. We're not gonna be able to get to the next weather ball. But we do get to the earthquake. I need to get to an earthquake and a hydro cannon here to be able to win. But I do think they're going to outpace us before we even get to the next hydro cannon. We're at the earthquake. We're going to charge it up to an excellent. And we're going to see what they... Well, they can't shield. They can't... Exactly. We're going to need another hydro cannon. And they're going to be able to farm us down before we get to the hydro cannon, which is pretty bad for us. But, yeah. As you guys can see right here, 3-2. I tried to make it work, but the team is fun. We're at 22-10, but this was a couple days ago. I am actually a little lower now. We're going to see Escavalier in the lead. They're going to switch out immediately to a Lapras, which is not too ideal for us because they do have Surf, and I don't want to get hit with a Surf on my on my Cancel Ninetales, because that would really suck. We're going to throw the Earthquake, see what they want to do here. Hoping that they don't shield. They do shield, which is pretty bad for us. We're going to go into our Lowland Muck here, and we're going to try to throw the Dark Pulse. We're going to let this go. This is most likely a Surf here. But they throw the Ice Beam, which is really bad for me. We're going to throw one Poison Jab for the one Ice Shard. 2 turn versus 3 turns, so we want to make sure that we only throw one to maximize our energy. Don't let them get sneak another move through. At this point, I let this go, calling it as a Surf. It is a Surf. We're going to be able to live it. We're going to get to the Dark Pulse. Do they want to shield? Do they want to shield? We'll see. We're going to charge it up to an excellent. And they don't shield, which is fine with me. We're going to be able to take switch without using shields, which is good. Now, they come into Escavalier, so now I can align Escavalier with my Cancel Ninetales. They have a Tentacruel in the back. This is looking very tricky for us because we're almost about to be KO'd. This is an Acid Spray. This is very bad for me. This is an Acid Spray. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. We're going to be able to bait here. Hopefully, peel the shield here so I can get to a potential earthquake. They do shield. They were scared. We're not going to be able to make it to the next. I should have just threw the Hydro Cannon at that point, but lucky for us, we're going to be calling a bait here. This is the Acid Spray. We're going to let it go. We're going to build up, build up, build up. We're going to get to the Side Shock. This is why we're running Side Shock, just in case we see any fighting types or poison types get Side Shocked. And we're going to be able to farm. We're at the Weather Ball here. Goodbye, Escavalier. So, yeah. Looked very tricky, but we were able to take this game. And, yeah. So, now we're going to see Swampert into our Wall Rain. So, this is kind of a losing match for Swampert, to be honest. You need to call baits. We're going to get to the Earthquake. They're not going to throw. Maybe thought we were going to try to catch or something, but I'm going to be able to get the Earthquake off. And at this point, they're not switching now, which is fine. But they do switch out into a Swampert. And this is looking like the Swampert Wall Rain Trev Core. Probably a Trevenant in the back, right? Well, we're going to see. Now, they're farming up extra. I'm going to call this as a Hydro Cannon. If they Earthquake us, that's pretty fine. They do end up Earthquaking us, which is not fine, but I said it was, but that's fine. Now, I do believe I'm going to shield the first one here, and now I'm going to be able to let it go to the next one. So now we're going to farm up extra here. We're going to throw right before they get to the next move. I'm going to be able to charge up my Hydro Cannon to an excellent, see what they want to do here. They do let it go, which is fine with me. Awesome. In the bag is a Trevenant. What did I say? And since this is not Great League, Shadow Swampert cannot KO a Trevenant with 2 Hydro Cannons, which is bad for me. So now I'm going to switch out immediately into my Cancel Ninetales, and I know I can't shield this. Even though it's a Shadow Ball, I can't shield it because they have a potential Earthquake here. But now they're going to be throwing Icicle Spears, which is pretty bad for me because I probably should have shielded, but they would have ended up KOing if they had the Earthquake here. They would have KO'd, but we're going to be able to live with just 1 HP, and I'm going to try to farm down completely, and they farm us down before we're able to farm down, so I just top left because I didn't want my Swampert to go down with a Seed Bomb here at this point, but that is fine. Usually you don't see that team, but that's fine. There's like season 8, 9 or something like that. I can't remember. One of those seasons when Wall Rain became a thing. So now we're going to see Giratina into our Swampert. Once again, I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake here. See what they want to do. Do they want to shield? Do they want to shield? They do want to shield, which is fine. So now I'm going to switch out into my Lowland Muck. We're going to catch a move here. This is most likely the Dragon Claw. They're not going to Shadow Sneak or Ancient Power. I don't think so. At least I wouldn't think so. But they're not switching out, which is very interesting for me. Now, we're going to be able to not shield this. We're not going to shield this because there's no point in shielding this. We're at the Dark Post. We're going to go ahead and throw the Dark Post. We're going to charge it up to an excellent, see what they want to do here. They no shield it, which is fine with me. So now at this point, I can actually let this one go. And I will shield the next one and farm down completely. We're going to farm up, farm up, farm up, farm up. As they throw, this is perfect for me. I can just shield and I can farm down completely. Now we're going to have our Alolan Muck locked and loaded, ready for whatever potentially comes in. And they're not switching out, so maybe they're weak to Alolan Muck in the back end. It is a Tapu Fini, so Tapu Fini get acid sprayed here. And I might have made a mistake here. I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse. I know it does a little bit more damage, but maybe the debuff was more beneficial. I don't know. But either way, we're going to be able to knock it down a little peg. And then we just need to get to a Hydro Cannon here. I'm going to go for the Earthquake. Do they want to shield? We've been landing a lot of Earthquakes. They don't shield, which is fine. So now I'm going to switch out into my Ninetales, hoping that they don't have the Future Sight. If they have the Future Sight, this is pretty bad for us. But that they're running Grass Knot or Moonblast, we are golden here. All right, they are running the Moonblast. We're going to be able to get to our Weather Ball here. We're going to throw the Weather Ball instantly. It is not enough to KO. Cresselia is very bulky, broken Pokemon in the Ultra League. So now they're going to Moonblast us again, trying to get the attack debuff, but we don't get it. We're going to be able to farm down. Maybe they were hoping I threw. Wasn't going to throw. I throw my Weather Ball immediately once they come back into their Tapu Fini, and it's not enough to KO, but at this point, we could just safely shield and farm down, and they know it. So they just top left. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying these battles. Once again, these are done on my Twitch. Link in the description if you do want to go watch them. Now we're going to see a Gravantula into our Swampert, which is not very ideal here. But, I mean, we do resist the electric moves, but the lunge is going to hurt. As you guys will see right here, it does hurt. Brought us down. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. Probably should have just went for the Hydro Cannon because they most likely do shield this, right? They do shield, which is pretty bad. I want this aligned with my Shadow Ninetales, but we're going to do a catch right here. We're going to catch the lunge, and they're going to come into a Drapion. So now this is looking not too good for us, but we're going to go straight for the Dark Post. I just want to Dark Post them. I know it's resisted, but I don't want to debuff them. There's no point for me to debuff them. Maybe if I don't reach another Dark Post, I will debuff them. But we're going to be able to get to... Okay, so I'm just going to let this go. We're going to save the shields for our Swampert here. Oh, and actually live it. Pretty good for us. I don't know if they undercharged it. They could have potentially undercharged it, which if they did, that's fine. We're going to be able to get to another move here. We're going to come into our Swampert. They're going to throw their move. This is hopefully not an Aqua Tail. It is a crunch. Good. We're going to farm up extra here. They're going to do an amazing catch under Wall Rain, which is fine with me. So now I can bring my Cancel Ninetales. We're going to farm up just a little bit extra here. And we're going to throw the Earthquake. Looks like it was a CMP. It looks like it was a CMP. Yeah, it was a CMP. So actually, this is probably the best case scenario. So now I can just come into my my Cancel Ninetales here. We can come into our Cancel Ninetales, potentially farm this down. We do farm it down. Now they're going to bring back what most likely is their Drapion. They're waiting out. They come into a Gavantula. Farm up. I'm going to throw right before their move. And we're going to see what they want to do here. We're going to charge it up to an excellent. The Weather Ball is going to get shielded. And that is fine. So now I'm calling this as a lunge. No way I'm going to shield this. It is a lunge. Perfect. So now they're going to come into the Drapion, which is fine with me. Now I do potentially shield this because I am at the Weather Ball. So they do Sludge Bomb us. And they don't even let me get my Weather Ball off. They know it's over at this point. So now we're going to see Swampert into Wall Rain. So Wall Rain. Once again, Wall Rain, not what we really want to see. There's been a lot of Wall Rains in the Ultra League, but that's fine. We're going to be able to get to this Earthquake. Once again, we're going to throw the Earthquake, and we're going to see if they want to shield. They don't shield, which is fine. We're going to come into our Alolan Muck here. We're going to shield what is a potential Earthquake, because I do not want to get hurt with an Earthquake. they do end up throwing the earthquake. They come into a glide score, however you guys want to prefer to call it. Links, tell me in the comments how you guys call it, what is pronounced correctly, whatever, all that stuff. Let me know in the comments. Now, this is gonna get a little iffy. I'm calling them to throw the earthquake, and they do end up throwing the earthquake, which is fine with me. Now I can come into my Swampert, but they're up shields. They're up shields, which is not good for me. So they're gonna come. I'm gonna come into my Swampert. I'm gonna throw immediately. I want their shield here. I want that shield. I'm gonna charge the Hydro Cannon up to an excellent. They do end up shielding here, and at this point, I do believe they're just gonna go straight Night Slash, and we're gonna let go. They do Night Slash. They should have just went for the earthquake. They're gonna get to another move here. I really can't shield, so I let it go. I come into my Ninetales. They're going to be able to get to another Night Slash. I'm going to go straight for the farm down. Do I shield this? Yeah, we end up shielding the earthquake, which is good for me. So now we're going to try to farm down this wall rain completely. We end up farming it down completely. They come back into their glide score. They get farmed down completely again. And they just top left. I'm assuming that there was a Trevenant in the back, and we're going to be able to take that game. This time is a 4-1, as you guys can see. Pretty positive sets here. But the unfortunate thing is I did end up losing Elo a couple days ago. So we're back into the 1900s. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So now we're going to see Cresselia into our Swampert. If they're running Grass Knot, this is pretty bad. I'm going to build up. I'm going to try to catch what is a potential Grass Knot, but they don't throw nothing, which is fine. They come into a Swampert. They have they most likely have a Giratina in the back. We're going to charge up the Dark Pulse to an excellent. They're most likely going to let it go. No reason for them to shield because if they call it Acid Spray, they call it Acid Spray. I'm going to let this go too because they might just Hydro Cannon. If they Hydro Cannon, then that's good for me. They do end up Hydro Cannon right here, so we're going to let this go. And they double up. Now, we're going to bring back our Swampert. We're going to wait out the clock just a little bit here. And we're going to come back into our Swampert any second now. We're going to come back into our Swampert. And I know I went CMP here, so I'm going to throw on the CMP tie. Hoping that they don't shield. They don't shield, which is fine with me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and switch into my Kanto Ninetales here to catch a potential Grass Knot. Did we catch a potential Grass Knot? Let's see. We do end up catching the Grass Knot, so this is good for us. Now we're gonna be able to farm up. They're not switching out, which is very weird. Now at this point, I need to either call this as a future sight. It is a future sight, perfect. We do end up shielding the future sight, so now I'm gonna build up, and this is tanky. I'm gonna build up to what is a potential overheat to see if they end up shielding here. Do they shield? They don't shield. They call the bluff, and that is pretty bad for me. So now what do I do here? Am I gonna shield again? I let it go. It is the future sight. They don't bait us. I need to keep shields for Swampert, to be honest, but at this point, this is looking like a game over, and I don't think we're gonna be able to win. We're gonna switch out into. Oh yeah, no, they got us a Venusaur in the back. Yeah, this is over for us. Now I'm going to throw the earthquake, hoping that they do let it go. Do they let it go? Do they shield again? They shield. They're no fun. So at this point, I just top left. That is fine. So now we're going to see Talonflame into our Swampert, which is pretty good for us. Now I'm going to be able to see what they do. They switch, they stay in, which is a little weird and awkward for us. So I'm going to build up. I'm going to throw right before they are able to throw their move or right before they can even swap out. So this is makes them shield, but they don't shield, which is fine. They're building up extra energy, and since they build up extra energy, I'm going to throw immediately here because I don't want to have them catching my move. And now at this point, I do believe that they're going to throw the Brave Bird here. They're 2 away from the next Brave Bird, so I do shield what is a potential Brave Bird, and they're not switching out. They do switch out into a Wall Rain, which is fine with me. They're only going to be able to throw a Icicle Spear here. They didn't build up to what is the Earthquake, which is fine with me. So now I'm going to be able to get to the Earthquake here. I'm going to throw the Earthquake immediately as soon as I get it. And their Talonflame is pretty low, so this is not pretty much of a threat. Now I'm going to switch out into my Cancel Ninetales, Shadow Ninetales, and we're going to be able to farm up extra here. I'm going to call this, is it the Earthquake? I need to shield a potential Earthquake. It is the Earthquake, which is fine with me. So now we're going to farm up extra. And since we're at the Weather Balls here, I'm going to throw, since we're at the back-to-back Weather Balls here, I'm going to throw the Weather Balls back-to-back. That is fine. I was hoping they was going to CMP me, but they didn't, which is okay with me. Either or, doesn't matter. So now we're going to see what they come into. They have an Ampharos in the back, which is a little weird. Where the timer moves correctly. They end up catching, which is pretty bad for me. They end up catching. Amazing catch on my opponent's side, but we're going to see. We're going to keep building up. We're going to build up. I could have caught there potentially, but I didn't think they were going to throw immediately. We're going to see what they want to do here. They're going to focus blast us. That is pretty much overkill. I don't know why they didn't save it. Maybe they thought I was going to catch. And at this point, this Shadow Hydro Cannon from a Shadow Swampert is going to be enough to KO. And we're going to be able to take this game. They're not even going to see our third Pokemon get BM'd. Alright, so now we're going to see Swampert, Shadow Swampert into Alolan Ninetales. Okay, if we can line this up with our either of our backmons is going to be very good for us. They end up switching before we switch, which is pretty good for us. They're going to catch an Earthquake here. Most likely they do not shield, which is fine. I'm going to come into my Alolan Muck, which is pretty good for me. Now we're going to farm up extra. They Moonblast us. That's fine. Future Sight, Grass Knot, whatever they can throw. Doesn't matter. We're going to charge up a little extra right before they get to their move. We're going to throw right before they get to their move. See what they want to do. We're trying to hope that they don't shield here. They do shield, which is a little weird. Well, actually, I guess because they don't want to line this up with their Ninetales. We're going to let the new Moonblast go. We're going to charge up extra energy here once again. And at this point, I could just... We call a Grass Knot. Okay. Okay, this is... Okay. These battles were done a couple days ago, so I already forgot. My bad, guys. And since we debuffed it, we're going to be able to come into our Cancel Ninetales. They throw the Weather Ball, which is fine with me. Now you switch out into their Giratina. This is looking really bad for us. Now, we're going to have to let this go. No, we're going to shield what is a potential Ancient Power. They do Dragon Claw us, which is pretty bad. I'm going to build up to what could be the Overheat. We're going to see what they want to do here. They do let it go. This is CMP, and I let it go. I had to let it go. This is a Dragon Claw, which is fine. So we're going to switch out into our Swampert again. I'm going to start spamming out these Hydro Cannons because I don't want them to shield a potential Earthquake here at this point. We're going to just keep throwing these Hydro Cannons. I lived this for sure. I don't have to shield this. This is looking like a losing game. We're going to see. They come into their Ninetales. We're going to be able to throw this Hydro Cannon here. Are they going to shield? They don't shield, which is fine. Come into my Cancel Ninetales. We're going to farm down. I'm hoping I can get to 3 moves here. This looks like a CMP tie. We're going to get off the first Weather Ball here. They do let it go. They do end up shielding, which is fine with me. So now I'm going to have to try to overfarm, try to win CMP once again. Oh no, we end up losing this. I think I should have threw the Side Shock. If I would have threw the Side Shock, maybe we would have won there, but we're just a little bit short. Yeah, unfortunate for us, but that's fine. Now we're going to see Mew in the Ultra League, which is very spicy. So now I'm going to farm up. I'm assuming that they're running Dark Pulse, and my assumption was correctly, as you guys will see here in a bit. I'm going to go for the Hydro Cannon, assuming that they're going to shield. But they don't shield. They don't shield. I'm assuming this is Dark Pulse, but I didn't want to shield a potential Surf. It is a Dark Pulse. So now I'm at the next Hydro Cannon where I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon and see what they want to do here. Do they want to shield? They don't want to shield, which is fine. Now they come into a Trevenant. Okay, now we're going to switch into our Alolan Muck. They're staying in, which is a little weird. We're going to let this go. We don't have to shield anything here. They Shadow Ball us. They're still staying in. So at this point, I'm assuming that they're going to shield and I'm going to throw the Acid Spray. Normally I don't bait, but in this case I do bait. They come into a Sylveon, which is not good, but I mean good for us. Not good for them, but good for us. I'm going to try to time my moves correctly. I don't time them correctly, and they're going to be able to sneak in a Charm, which is bad for us, but we're going to be able to get another shield here. I don't make it to the next Acid Spray, which is bad. I do believe I come into my Swampert, hoping I can get to a Hydro Cannon here. We're not going to be able to get to the Hydro Cannon, which is fine at this point. I got to let this go. This is probably a Moonblast, Side Shock. Doesn't matter. It is the Moonblast. Now we're going to be able to farm down completely. And they're going to come back into their Trevenant. I'm at the move here. We're going to charge it up to an excellent. The Weather Ball is going to be just enough to KO this Trevenant. And we're going to be able to take the game. So yeah. Hope you guys are liking the battles. I know some of them I did a lot of misplays, but hopefully I can learn from them. Now we're gonna see Trevin into Swampert. This is pretty bad, so I'm gonna switch immediately into my Lowland Muck. They do end up switching. They're gonna come into the Ampharos, and I'm gonna time my moves correctly. We throw the Dark Pulse here. Most likely they are not going to shield, calling it as a Acid Spray, which is fine with me. Now they're gonna have to shield the Acid Spray, or I can just shield this and potentially farm down completely. And we're gonna see what they want to do. Brutal Swing. They do end up baiting us, and since they baited us, this is just another Brutal Swing, so I'm gonna let this go. Brutal Swing. They're going to come into an Aurorus, which is looking a little iffy for us, but we're going to throw the Dark Pulse here. They do let it go, which is fine with me. They're up a shield, which is not too good, not too ideal. I'm going to let this go. If they Meteor Mash me or Meteor Beam me, that's fine, but it's just a Weather Ball. So now I'm going to come into my Swampert. They switch out. I'm going to switch out into my Cancel Ninetales, and this is pretty bad for them. Now I'm going to shield what is a potential Shadow Ball. We do not shield the Shadow Ball. Okay. I had the shield now. And we're going to farm down completely here. We're going to farm down completely here. We're at 2 Weather Balls here, so we're going to be able to throw 1 Weather Ball here. We'll see what they want to do. They end up shielding what is a potential Overheat. We're at another Weather Ball, so I'm going to throw the next Weather Ball. Do they shield this? They do shield this. Now I'm going to be coming into my Swampert. They probably Meteor Beam us here. They do. It's not enough to KO us. Since they Meteor Beam me, I'm assuming that it's gonna take a while for them to get to the Weather Ball here, and we're just gonna beam them with a Earthquake here. Even though the Hydro Cannon was enough, I still ended up Earthquaking them. They Meteor Beam me, you can get Earthquake too. So once again, we went 3-2 here. We gained some. I think this is a Go Battle Day, or the weekend. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the battles. Showcasing this spicy Pokemon, this Ninetales, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.